Today is another very quick and impromptu video because I just got in the post the new gear knob, and for those of you who didn't see it, I did a silly video full of knob jokes pertaining to this very quick fix of a gear knob that's in terrible condition. Now, first of all, maybe I should show you the offending item if you haven't seen it already. So yeah, it's just my daughter's, I think it was both of their socks actually, but they've grown out of it a long time ago, so I used it to cover up this. I found out that if you want to get one of these, a silicone or other material, and you actually buy one in a shop, it's unbelievably expensive. It was like something like 10 euros for the silicone one, and even more for like this cloth one that you tied knot at the bottom. Ridiculous. Just throwing money in the bin. Anyway, here is the atrocity that I committed. Put sellotape around here and it feels awful. So I'm going to take it off now, but I'm not going to throw it away. Why? Just a second. It's the whole theme of the video. This is the fun part where you... there you go. Now, I want to compare these two items. So, one of them came from a well-known online store. I've already mentioned it's called AliExpress. Okay, this is one. It's the same you get on eBay. It's all the same. Very cheap. This is the one that was in the car. The difference is astounding. First off, the stupid people, they send me the shiny one. I wanted the one that was less shiny, but anyway, I'll have to live with it. And the difference in weight is incredible. This, you can tell, has metal in it. Feels nice. Whoops, yeah, I nearly cracked this up. But it feels nice, and it feels weighty, and you know it's a quality object. This is so light, I really question if it's going to last a long time. I'm not sure if it's going to stand up to the everyday demands of, you know, shifting gear the whole time. So I'm not going to throw this away. I'm actually going to see, is it possible to refurbish one of these? Because this is a much more quality item than this. I'm going to put this on for now, but yeah. Holy moly, just went in. What I'm trying to get to with this video is it worth it sometimes to pay that extra to get a original part, something from the manufacturer? Now, in this case, this cost I shouldn't say this one. The replacement knockoff bit cost, let's say, €4. As near as it makes no difference, €4. The cheapest I could find, an original one, was 45, so that's over 10 times more. The thing is it worth it? Another example, the key fob, the casing, an original one would set me back, if I went to a shop and had a guy do it for me professionally here, it would set me back about €100, and I've no idea how much Citroën would charge me. Now, if it's a knockoff key from AliExpress or eBay, that's €1.30. It's more now, but let's say it's €5 for sake of argument. I do know also that you don't have to. I cut the key the last time. I spent €7.50 cutting it, but you don't have to, because you can actually. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to say that for another video. But let's say it's €5. I'd have to go through 20 keys before it became economically viable to buy an original one. And I don't think an original one's going to last 20 times longer than this. I honestly don't. So in this case, it is worth getting a knockoff because it's just cheaper, and it's not, in terms of actual quality and feel, it's not 100 times superior, or in this case 20 times superior to the knockoff part, the original part. So in this case though, I mean, this is something you're going to touch every day, you're going to use every day. And here, even though it's more than 10 times more expensive, it's probably 10 times better as well, and better to use. Oh yeah, by the way, at this junction, let me make this very clear. Don't do that for like important mechanical things. Doesn't matter what it is, use the good stuff. On my old Volvo, I decided to put some aftermarket bushings that I had found online, and they were so awful. If I'd put bushings made of butter, it probably would have been more or less the same result. They just turned into mush in days. I don't know, it wasn't days, but it was very quick. Ridiculous. So, you know, don't skimp on the important stuff. This is just for interior trim and all that rubbish. There's also something else you've got to keep in mind. Us Citroen folk, we don't have the same amount of aftermarket options as, for example, someone in a BMW, or you know, those kind of brands, Toyota, I don't know, Honda, those brands that are subject to the fast and furious treatment. So there's a very healthy, oh look, a spider. Hello spider. Do you want to eat the insects in my car? Feel free. Come back later, I'm filming. Those fast and furious types, they like to modify their cars. So the brands that get modified a lot, they're going to have a healthy ecosystem, so to speak, to support their taste. And us, regular Citroen owners, we just want replacement parts. So you're limited in your choices. So sometimes you really have to get originals because there's no other alternative. Sorry to waffle on so much, but my conclusion is spend the extra when it's necessary. I mean, wow, what a conclusion. But if it's something, that doesn't make sense for you to spend a lot of money on, like the key casing, where has it gone? Because you can't really tell the difference between this and the original, and this will last long enough for it to be economically viable. Get the knockoff stuff, but then get the really good things if it's something you're going to make use of. So I think you're probably all watching this and saying, I knew that already, why are you telling me this? So I hope you didn't find that a waste of time. I would like to know of instances where people have bought the cheap option and it's been so hilariously bad that it's sort of like gone pear-shaped in a very interesting way. Anyway, we'll see how long this lasts, otherwise it's back to the sock. Either way, if you made it this far, I thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope you subscribe if you haven't done, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I bid you farewell. I'll see you in a future video.